Yeah. 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 Pack it up, pack it in, let the surge begin. We take your socials up, you know we're built to win. Busy closing deals, running business all day. We handle your socials so you can focus your way. Algorithm shifting, platforms on the move. We track the updates.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Social Surge.
Social media for the Creek crowd. We turn up the signal, we make you
really enjoying the music. You're having a lot of fun making that, aren't you? Good morning, everyone. I'm Mo Regalado. Over there is Mr. Hector Regalado, my ride or die, my right-hand man, my COO, helping me out today on the Surge. And today we are talking about something that I actually just wrote a LinkedIn article on. I wanted to make sure that we kind of hit this subject about engagement pods and about fake growth and faux followers and all of the fun things that happen when you're trying to grow a brand on social media. And unfortunately, some people are very, very impatient, and they get lured into the idea of like, hey, if I can just grow my brand on social, I'll look like I'm important. I'll look like I'm somebody and that I have something to say and that people want to hear from me. And pour one out for your homies. Back in the day, I'm talking about probably 2014 through 2016. This was actually a tactic that was used widely on Facebook. This isn't new. The names may change, but the idea and thought behind it does not. So back then, we had something where people would buy followers, or even go so much as I remember on Facebook, there was a Facebook page that blew up, got to like 1 million followers. And the person who owned that Facebook page, let's be honest, you don't actually ever own anything on Facebook or on any social media platform. And that's probably a conversation we need to have as well. You don't actually own anything when you have a social media account or you do social media content. That is owned by the company that you're posting to. Just as a note, it's in the terms of service. You should probably read it. But so we had people back then that were selling million fan pages to companies. Right. And it used to actually be a very lucrative business. You and I dealt with this, like I said, back in 2015, 2016, where sometimes when we were helping build brands, we were competing against pages that all of a sudden went from having 0 followers to 200,000 followers. And it's like, how is this happening?
That was always a shocker, right? At least at the beginning, because we didn't really know about how. We kind of knew that there were some purchases being made, but we didn't really have the information on how they were doing it, right? Like, who do you actually go to buy these things? And but whenever we would see a page all of a sudden blow up like that, we were like, what the heck? What happened? We were competing with them, and now there's now a giant, just a giant lead of us. Now we have to try to play catch up. And we never encouraged, and we still don't encourage our clients to go that route, because there's a lot of ramifications.
Yeah. So when you are engaging in tactics like that to try to grow on any kind of social platform, you're not buying influence. You are buying the appearance of influence, right? You are buying the appearance that you're important, that you have something to say, and that people actually want to listen to you. And of course, the vanity metrics are attractive. Like, oh, this person has 70,000 followers. Oh, this person has, 15,000 followers on this platform. And one of the questions is, what makes vanity metrics so attractive? Well, obviously, just like that, social proof, right? If you have so many followers, I've even had clients actually say that to me. Like, you grow brands and yet your brand on social media is small by comparison. And I look at them and I go, yes, because I'm not focused on my brand. I'm focused on my clients, right? So I've actually had that come back at me like, well, you don't have a lot of followers. If you do, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my clients. If I had time to do it for me, that means I didn't have anybody, right? I didn't have anybody to work with. However, I will say that when I started out when you and I were in Minnesota and I got back into radio, that's what I started doing. I started working on my brand, my personal brand. And it was, it made a difference. I followed what Gary Vaynerchuk said, and I actually built the brand, the Mo Regalado brand, from the ground up by doing exactly what I share with my clients. So I know that it works. Another reason why people are interested in buying those fake followers, doing engagement pods, getting faux growth is obviously ego, right?
Oh yeah, that plays a big part into it.
I want to look like I'm the best, but it doesn't actually. There's also client perception. Again, the outside looking in. Oh, they have a lot of followers. They have a lot of influence. Well, if it's fake influence, then no, that's not happening. They're also, trying to look successful faster and keeping up with the Joneses, right? You wouldn't think that having so many followers on social media or having such growth and unprecedented growth would be keeping up with the Joneses. But for some people, that is very, very important to them, especially if they're trying to grow their brand. So it used to be you would buy fake followers. This happened a lot on Instagram. I talk about this a lot. It used to happen a lot on Twitter and X. Used to happen a lot on Facebook. And it's a little different when it comes to LinkedIn because we're not looking at fake followers. We're looking at what's called engagement pods. And again, I'm not a fan. And there are lots of reasons why. If you're tempted to buy fake followers, if you're tempted to buy fake growth, full growth, let me remind you. Remind you that those followers are not your target audience and they're not your target market. And you can, as a social media manager, I can tell if you have purchased fake followers by going through your followers and looking at, one, what industry they're in, and two, where they're located. If a predominant amount of your followers are in India, and they're marketers or they're salespeople, and that's not who your target market is, I know that you, along the line, some way, purchased either followers or got involved in engagement pods. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Now, if you can tell that those are not actually in your vertical, right? They're not in your who your target market is, your avatar. Can the platform tell?
Yes. And I'll get into that. The platform absolutely 100% can tell now, especially with a lot of the platforms being AI driven, right? So we know that LinkedIn announced that their algorithm is now its own AI. It is its own language learning model, right? And before I get into that, let me define what an engagement pod is. So for some of you who are not familiar with this term, engagement pods are a group that say that they will actively engage with other people's content within minutes of it posting. They'll like it, they'll comment, they'll do something, they'll share it. The problem is a lot of times when you are engaging with engagement pods, they're not actually your target market. So we're talking about commercial real estate. The engagement pod that you've hired, all of the people that they have are from India or from Pakistan or from the Philippines. They work in a different vertical than you, and it's great. You're getting likes, you're getting comments, you're getting shares. But what you are training the AI algorithm is that your content which is supposed to be for commercial real estate people, those either adjacent in the industry or actually in the industry, or you're trying to reach CFOs or whoever that target audience is, they're not seeing the content. You're training the algorithm to have them not see the content because your content is being shown and is being pushed out by a completely different audience, right? So is that going to help you reach your target market? No, of course not. It's not going to help you reach your target market. And in fact, it's going to make you set back what you were originally trying to do. Oh, we have a comment. Oh, good morning, DB. Happy to have you here. We're talking about engagement pods. So engagement, now I'm not gonna say that they don't work, right? I'm not going to say that somebody enterprising in commercial real estate couldn't create an engagement pod with a group of commercial real estate professionals and make that work. You absolutely could. But a lot of times this is coming from people who aren't familiar with the industry. They tout themselves as LinkedIn experts or growth marketers. I remember back in the day, pour one out for your homies. On Instagram, you used to get a whole bunch of DMs. We'll help you grow. Or they find your email and they'll send you an email. Oh, we'll get you 1,000 people in your target market. And I'm like, no, you're not going to, because I've seen how this plays out. It doesn't work. And now I have an audience that gives two shits about what I have to say. And now I'm stuck, right? Now what do you do? And I've even had clients tell me, I bought followers 10 years ago. Do we start over? And at some points, it's just like, we might have to. Looking at your numbers and how many people that you purchased, you've already trained the algorithm that these people are not interested in your content. And that, how are you going to get over that?
Right. And so, I mean, 10 years, like that's a long period for it to follow you around. I know that now that with the AI algorithms and everything else, is it still that long of a period? I mean, or can you do something that will help it? I mean,
so if you got involved in engagement farming or engagement pods, all the way good. By the way, good morning, Chris Hatch. LinkedIn bots are so annoying. Yes, and they are. LinkedIn is actively trying to get rid of those bots. And they are penalizing accounts that have those set up. That is something that they came out with like about 2 months ago. They're actively trying to get rid of all of those bots. And if you're not familiar with what a LinkedIn bot is, if you ever look at comments and you'll see that it's like a paraphrase of what the actual content was that the person shared, that is a bot that's actually doing that. So LinkedIn has been trying to get rid of those. I think they did a purge, like I said, about 2 months ago. So some of you would have seen your LinkedIn follower count go down if you had bots following you. And then good morning, Marcy Moneypenny. Thanks for joining us from Denver. So Hector, let me get back to your question. Yes, you can recover on LinkedIn, but it's going to take anywhere between 90 to 180 days to actually get back to a good baseline. Versus, especially if you stop working with the engagement pods, because engagement pods, what's interesting is that they take you to the heights, right? And then they start to fall because the algorithm picks up that, wait a minute, this is weird. This is a little different, right? And the algorithm is learning everything that you are doing. It's learning everything that is happening with your content. The platform sees the likes, the comments, the activity. And of course, the platform is going to respond with more reach and more impressions initially. And it looks great, right? Like, oh my gosh, I reached 100,000 people. I have so many of these. People reached, or I have so many of these impressions, and it's that immediate dopamine hit. We all like that, right? Like when something goes viral, it feels good. Like, oh my gosh, I got so many people responding, right? It's immediate feedback, but it's feedback that is not relevant to what you're doing. So engagement pods, they feel great initially, but it's not great for long term. And so let's talk about what the algorithm, this was your question, Hector. What is the algorithm learning? The algorithm is learning who's engaging with your content. And then And then if like I said, if it's other marketers, if it's virtual assistants, if it's random business owners that they have nothing to do with your vertical, the platform doesn't know that. Platform's like, oh, this is the audience that's responding. These are the people that, right? Like, so I've talked about this too with my own stuff. What do I talk about? I talk about marketing. I talk about social media, right? On LinkedIn. Who does LinkedIn show my content to? People who are in marketing, people who do social media, right? So I have to actively engage with the commercial real estate audience to make sure that I stay relevant in their feed. And it is a continuous job to do that, right? It doesn't just, you can't just hit it and quit it, right? We say don't post and ghost. It's the same thing. You have to actively work to be in somebody's feed, which means going and commenting on their content, which means actively engaging with those people in your vertical. If you wanted to connect with CFOs, guess what? You need to go find all the CFOs that are in your vertical and do a search for them, and then start actively engaging with their content so that your content starts showing up as well. So what happens when you're doing engagement pods?
Excuse me.
DB says, I can only think that reaching so many people matters when others that see it recognize you because you have other followers. So yeah, so again, so DB, it comes down to if it looks like you have a lot of followers on social media, then people assume that you have something to say. But look at the engagement numbers. A lot of times you can see what is happening with the algorithm based on like how many comments, how many likes, and sometimes that's not actually fair. So because sometimes you can have a piece of content that ends up getting a lot of impressions, but it doesn't reach, like the numbers just don't pan out. Like the engagement, I should say, doesn't pan out. It's like, wow, this reached quite a few people. The impressions were really good, but our engagement was low. So what was the disconnect? Or were people just absorbing the message and then moving on? So that has to do with dwell time, how long somebody actually stays on a post, if they click. There's a whole bunch of different factors that go into that. But if you are sending your content, if an engagement pod has shown that your content to the wrong audience, it's going to get distributed and continue to get distributed to the wrong audience. It's not the people that you want. It's not investors. It's not owners. It's not brokers. It's not developers or tenants. Pretty much our whole core CRE audience, right? It's all those other people. AI recommended, so AI systems learn patterns. That's actually what I probably have a lot in common with AI is patterns. When you are yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Hector.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, well, when you're training a machine, a pattern, like, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that what you're training them is going to be a good thing or a bad thing? If you put, basically it's the same thing with AI. If you put in a bad prompt, right, you're going to get a shit response. That's what it boils down to. Right.
So then you're training it to obviously not give you the kind of audience that you're looking for. So what's a good audience? Or what are good tactics that we can use in order to avoid one, having the wrong avatar, two, having low conversations or low engagement? What can we do to have a healthy platform or profile?
Well, one, you need to look at the audience quality, right? So are the people that are responding to you, are they in your vertical? Are they in commercial real estate? Depends on if you're talking locally or nationally, right? Are they from your area? Are they from the United States? That's a great question. I mean, if you are trying to reach an international audience, totally different conversation, right? But if you're trying to stay nationally, if you're trying to stay in the United States, or if you're trying to stay in Colorado, right? Who are the people that are looking at your content? Are they decision makers, right? Are they the people that were going to pick up the phone and call you and talk to you or comment? And would they hire you? That's another great question that you need to ask yourself. Is this somebody that is potentially going to hire you when they engage with your content? If it's a marketer out of India, they're probably not going to hire you. They're probably going to ask you for a job. So metrics that matter. I want you guys to be looking at conversations. What are the conversations that you're having? Ooh, Charlie Cummings has joined us over on the gram. We were talking about engagement pods on LinkedIn and what not to do, and what to do if you have hired somebody that engages in that practice, and how to retrain your LinkedIn algorithm to help you out. So metrics that matter, right? So conversations. Are you having conversations about the content, either in person, on the phone, email, DMs, right? Are you getting referrals based off of the content? Are introductions happening? Are you booking meetings? And are there opportunities that are coming? Dwayne says, people hit me behind the scenes and comment on my post all the time, and they don't respond in public. So I began to check popular people that are my target audience, and I realized in New York City, they don't really do that. Yeah. So now you are understanding how your audience behaves, which is important. If you don't understand how your audience behaves, then you potentially are speaking to the wrong audience. But if you know that your audience is more likely to contact you behind the scenes than actually comment, there's a lot of lurkers on social media. We talk about it a lot. A lot of people who watch what people post, but they never actually actively engage. But again, metrics that matter. You're having those conversations offline in real life, right? So those people are coming to you and saying, hey, I saw what you posted. It's really cool. This is something that I talk about frequently. Would you rather have 50,000 random followers or 5,000 local owners? Of course, I would rather have 5,000 local owners, because that's my target audience. Those are the people that I'm trying to reach. It's the same thing when we see big, like, again, we talked about big accounts blow up. Good morning, Cindy Banks. Joining us over on the gram. We're talking about engagement pods and why they are bad for your brand. So I would rather have 5,000 raving rabid fans who want to hear me than having 50,000 or 500,000 people who could care less about what it is that I have to say, what I represent, what I'm trying to sell, right? I would rather have that smaller audience that wants to consume the content that I create and is most likely to transact with me versus, oh, I have 500,000 followers. That's great. It's great you have 500,000 followers. Are they ever going to do business with you? Are they ever going to transact with you? So we're really looking at quality. We're not looking at quantity. Have I noticed that people are taking shots at each other lately? DB, what do you mean? Do you mean so I don't see that much. I don't think I see that much on LinkedIn. I do see that quite a bit on X, and X is a different animal.
Yeah, that's a different platform altogether right there.
X is different. It's almost like you expect to see rage bait or engagement bait on X. That's almost like right. That's almost exactly what you're expecting to see. I don't see that much on LinkedIn though. So you'll have to share with me. You have to spill the tea and let me know what's going on. So if you want to figure out if you have a good audience, you need to look at who's engaging. Okay. Would they ever hire you, or are they likely to transact with you? Would they ever refer you? And if every follower disappeared tomorrow except your ideal audience, would your business improve?
Those are good questions.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. If every follower disappeared tomorrow except your ideal audience, would your business improve?
Or would it get impacted negatively, right? I mean, if those bots disappeared and your core audience, that your actual avatar is still there, would your business have a negative impact? Right?
Right.
So obviously, if the other ones were all fake and just there just to bump up your numbers, then no, your business is going to stay strong regardless.
Right. Yeah. I want you to be very, very DB. I know you just started on X, didn't you? I want people to be very clear about what it is and what their goals are for social media and for building a brand and a presence on there. Your whole purpose is to get in front of the people who are you're most likely to transact with, right?
Right.
Building a community is fabulous. And I love my CRE community, but I've built it, right? I've created something, I've curated it to a point where I'm happy with what I have. I know that I can go to anybody in our community and be like, hey, I need help with this situation. Can you help out? And I would probably have 3 or 4 people that I could connect with immediately, and they would be willing to help out with that. Or they would give referrals, or they would say, hey, I just talked with somebody, you need to talk with them, right? But that's what building community is about. And again, I'm not concerned about having so many followers. I would rather talk to my core audience and have them listen to me and follow what I say versus having 10,000 people following me. And out of that 10,000, only one is actually listening, right? So don't get caught up in vanity metrics. Those vanity metrics will really, especially when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you see other people building their pages faster than you. You need to continue to look at the quality of the content that you're putting out, the quality of the connections that you're making. It is very, very, very tempting to just connect with everybody that sends you a connection request. I do not recommend that. My recommendation is look at the person. Are they in your vertical? Do they have similar people that you are connected with? Like, it'll tell you on LinkedIn, 100%. Say, you are connected with this, or this person's like 73 other people are connected. You have connections in common, right? Oh, if we have connections in common, but their title and their headline doesn't tell me exactly what they do, I can pretty much figure that, okay, you're in commercial real estate, or you're in an adjacent industry that makes sense for us to connect. You do not have to connect with every single person that sends you a connection request. And don't feel bad if you don't. I'm sure What the Heck has, actually, I know What the Heck has lots of connection requests that he just sits on. And I'm like, but you actually, like, because What the Heck is retired. He was in a career prior to working with moi. But he's like, I'm not interested in connecting with that person. Yes, we worked together for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, again, it goes back to who is my audience.
Right.
Now, back then, yes, obviously that was my audience, and we connected at work, through work, and this was just another way for us to communicate. But now, yeah, no, I mean, it's not like I'm ignoring them. I'm not. I still, even if we don't,
100% ignoring them.
No, I still message them. I still have talks with them, but I'm saving those connections for those that are actually somebody that I want to connect with because of our business,
right,
because of what we're doing. And so that's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on the past as far as my previous career. There's other platforms that I connect.
That's hilarious.
So, I mean, so I'll connect with them on other platforms like X or on Facebook or whatever. But LinkedIn, that's totally different.
So I want you guys to think about, I want you to think about this. Engagement pods are super attractive. They are. I can see it. The problem is that you're not getting in front of your target audience. Again, if somebody was going to be smart and industrious, they could create an entire engagement pod industry with just commercial real estate brokers and those who are adjacent. And then that would be interesting. But I don't see anybody doing that because it's not the highest and best use of your time. So when you have LinkedIn experts or gurus or any kind of social media guru going, oh, okay, Well, what we do is we have a group of people that whenever you post, they'll go and comment and engage on your content. And then you're going to start getting lots of impressions and lots of reach, and it's great. Okay, the question, even if you do this, right? You're like, I'm gonna commit to this. I'm gonna do it. Mo told me not to, but I'm not gonna listen to Mo. But I am gonna ask the one question that she told me to ask, which is, are these people in my industry? Are these my target audience? And are these the people that I'm trying to reach? Right. Because if they're not, you are teaching the AI to show your content to somebody else, to a different audience. You don't want the algorithm doing that, because it's going to take 90 to 180 days to build back up, and it's going to be painful. It is absolutely 100% going to be painful, because you go from having basically fake engagement, because that's what it is. It's not your target audience. You're having fake engagement, right? And I'm not saying that there's not going to be people in there that see your content that aren't in your vertical, but there's not going to be enough of them to outweigh all of the fake stuff, right? And it's not fake because it's real engagement, right? It's people that are actually coming. They're just not in your vertical, right? They're not in your target market. And so you're going to go from way high, and then it's going to drop, and then it's going to drop again. And you're going to look at it, and you're going to look at a marketer like me, and you're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Well, I'm cleaning up your mess. I'm getting back to the basics of what we're supposed to be doing, which is providing value and quality content. And now we have to rebuild your audience because you jacked it up.
Right. So bottom line, shortcuts, not a good idea.
No, shortcuts are never a good idea, especially on social. I have had opportunities to work with engagement pods, and I have 100% wholly resisted them. I have been talked about because I resisted it. But I stand. This is a hill I will die on. You can do the engagement pod tactic, but you are not going to get in front of the right audience ever. And
so, I mean, what I question is, what's the point of you being online? And that's something that you have to ask yourself, right? If your point to being online is to win a popularity contest, then yes, by all means, go for the engagement pods, buy the followers. In fact, you can still buy followers on X. You can still buy followers on Facebook. You can still do it on IG. You can do all that. If you're looking to win a popularity contest, one, there's a lot of people with a lot more money than you do. And if they want to do it with, do the same thing you're doing, you're not going to win. There's always somebody who's going to be more than you. So popularity contest, if that's what you're in social media for, then all right, great. But if you're trying to build a business, a popularity contest is not going to get you the business that you're looking for.
Right. The focus shouldn't be on followers. It shouldn't be on the vanity metrics. What it should be on is, am I producing quality content? Right.
Yes.
DB says, would an opera singer want to perform in front of a bunch of people who only love hip hop or country music? No. That's 100% true. Why would you try to get in front of an audience that does not want to hear you? Yes, the engagement's there. Yes, the impressions are there. Yes, the reach is there, but they are not likely to transact with you. And that's what it boils down to. You need to be in front of the audience that is most likely to transact with you. As a note, I did a LinkedIn article on this yesterday. You can find it on my page. We are doing at the end of this month, it's the last Wednesday of the month. I am doing a workshop on LinkedIn articles and how to create them so that you get found on the agentic, so that you get found on the search engines, whether you call it the search engine or answer engine. So SEO and AEO. LinkedIn articles are one of the cited sources when it comes to agentic search. So I will be doing a free workshop on that at the end of the month. It's the last Wednesday. I believe it'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking forward to that. We'll get more information out about that, but I do have that coming up. And then CREI Summit. Tickets are still on sale. You can get them now. Go to creisummit.com. I will be having Ken Ashley on June 16th. So excited to have him come on, talk about his book, The Prescription, talk about CREI Summit, get some of those answers to questions about why did you start this, right? So we'll have Ken on. And then last but not least, last announcement is the Instagram list for CREI Summit is ongoing right now. If you have not put in for Instagram, if you haven't filled out that jot form with all of your stats, go do it now. It's through the end of the month. They'll be doing that. So that's creisummit.com if you want to be on the list for Instagram. And the Twitter list should be coming out soon. So I'll see you back here on Wednesday. My love, mwah, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you. And we'll see you back here Thursday. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. Pack it up. Pack it